The show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue. The show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Oh, flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let Citi relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah.
City 97.3. Accra.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and I'm here tonight with
Akusia Ochre.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
If you come to our premises, you will realize that we have very, very limited space in the premises.
The caucus, the majority caucus, have not.
If you come to our premises, you will realize that we have very, very limited space in the premises, and our staff are really cramped into the offices where we work.
Electoral Commission packs out of the head office building, which it was sharing with the NCCE. But the hopes of the officers of the NCC having more space have been dashed, as it is imagined that EC officials simply locked up their conference rooms and other offices and left with the keys to their new premises. That's what we're hearing from the Public Accounts Committee sitting today. We'll be hearing more on what exactly happened. Also coming up on Eyewitness News tonight.
The caucus, the majority caucus, have not made any changes in its leadership. The majority caucus has not contemplated making any changes to its leadership, and that will tell the whole world, Ghana, to ignore any such publication.
Confusion rocks majority front in Parliament as NPP MPs are split over changes in leadership, or at least proposed changes that we've known about and heard about the leadership front of the MPP side. We'll be unpacking the issues for you. And later on Eyewitness News, water crisis rocks the Ashanti region with many institutions, including secondary schools, affected. We are told the challenge has to do with a power situation. We'll be assessing that for you here on Eyewitness News. And later in business,
Cocoa Board assures of adjusting farmgate price of cocoa beans upwards in upcoming season.
That's in 15 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations, including in the Upper West region on Tungsung 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM in Jirapa. In Upper East, we are live on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In Northern region, we are on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu and VOV Radio 95.7 FM in Hohwe. In the Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. If you go to the Bono region, we are live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Western region, we are on Adwenpa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takrady, and Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we are on our website, citynewsroom.com, and we are interactive. Join us with your WhatsApp messages via 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can also go on Twitter, now known as X, and drop your tweets using the hashtag City Newsroom. My handle is at Umaru Sanda. You can also use your message, send your messages using the hashtag and the handle at City973. Let's settle for details of our stories now. And yesterday, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President of the Land, who is also flag bearer of the NPP, made an announcement of the persons who are going to drive his campaign. Coupled with that, we're expecting also to hear about changes in the leadership front of the House of Parliament, especially from the NPP side. Indeed, this was supposed to have happened alongside the government's shake-up, which was announced by the president on Valentine's Day last week. That agenda, when we spoke to our correspondent, was not dealt with last night. And we've heard and seen several publications suggesting that there's a majority bench shake-up akin to what happened to the NDC side a few months ago, where Haruna Idrisu and Muntaka Mubarak have had to make way for Kesela Tuforsin and Agboja and others as the majority did that. Now, majority side was supposed to have done that. And then today, we saw a press conference addressed by no mean a person than the first deputy speaker of the House, an MP, or outgoing MP, if you like, for Bekwai, announcing that the publications we are seeing are strange to the majority caucus. Let's listen to him.
We are here to inform you, and through you to the world, that the publications that are going around is not true, it's false, that the caucus, the majority caucus, has not made any changes in its leadership. The majority caucus has not contemplated making any changes to its leadership, and that we tell the whole world, Ghana, to ignore any such publication. They want to assure you that we have confidence in the leadership as they are, and the status quo shall remain. We are aware that upon the nomination of one of the deputy whips as a minister, a replacement will be made. That replacement will be made by the caucus when we have had the opportunity and the time to consider the appropriate replacement. This is all the information we want to share with you, and to, through you, tell the world that the leadership of the majority caucus has not changed. We have not contemplated any change, and we do have no intention to effect any changes in the leadership of the majority caucus.
Honorable Speaker, your constitution says you appoint your leadership in consultation with the party.
Which constitution?
The MPP's constitution.
That regulates MPP. The Parliament of Ghana has adopted standing orders which places the selection and change or otherwise of leadership in the hands of the caucus and not anybody outside Parliament.
Why do we not see the current leadership of the majority doing the press conference as it is now? But it's you.
They are busy in the chamber, and it's about them. It is about them. The rest of us must stand up for them. They have led us effectively and efficiently, and the rest of us must stand up for them. And indeed, it doesn't need the leaders to say that we have not taken a decision. It is we, the members, the caucus. We have not taken any such decision. We are not contemplating any such decision.
Mr. Speaker, is there an external attempt to remove Osei Chairman Sabunsu as Speaker of your the leader of your caucus?
I'm not aware of any such thing. Nobody has discussed that with the caucus. And since nobody has the power to do that outside the caucus, there may be rumors and intricacies, but the caucus in Parliament is not aware of any attempt to remove anybody.
So that's First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, NPP Member of Parliament for Bekwai, Joe Osei-Wusu, making that statement in the House of Parliament, speaking to journalists about the attempted, I don't know what the right word to use, but there was an announcement that there's going to be a change in the majority bench, the front bench of the majority side in Parliament, and he called the press there to announce that the status quo remains. One of the persons we saw standing behind him is the Anyaso Uto Member of Parliament, the Honorable Dixon Adumako Kisi. He's joined us on the line. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Yes, thank you.
I know that MPs usually would call the press in the foyer and make statements to them. Sometimes when you storm out of the chamber, you do that. Sometimes you have your own agenda. For instance, the day some of your colleagues wanted to remove the finance minister, you called a press conference, a similar one, and dropped the bombshell. This particular press conference, what was the plan? Because we saw you standing there.
Well, let me start off by saying categorically that, I'm somebody who's very much in support of reshuffles. I mean, I've been in support of it for, close to 2 years. I'm of the opinion that when we do reshuffle, it gives other people the opportunity to exhibit what they know and their talent. And, sometimes it's too late, but sometimes it still matters. And I think that for the next 8 months or so that we have left, it's also a good time from a soccer point of view to field different new people to man the affairs of the government and to push us forward. And I think it's also another opportunity to relaunch the government on a different path of some sort. So, but what came up today is clearly, I think, is a matter of us waiting to hear a bit more interaction with the government and the party to be certain as to if what maybe some members are hearing is true or not. But as it stands, I must be very clear that at any point in time, not everybody in the majority agrees to one path or the other. But when we sit down as a caucus and, a decision is taken, we'll all follow what decisions are taken. And I think that, we're ready to work with, leadership, one of the party and of government, to see the way forward. And we'll be in support of whatever will be in the interest of the party. As it stands now, I personally am open to any new changes if, further consultation arrives at that. So I'm assuming that in the next foreseeable days, the party will stay with us, or the government, the president, will stay with us. And then, Georgia, we've done it before. And, eventually, he listened to a lot of people and made some changes, as we have witnessed within the past 10 days. So I think that some things are premature. One, I haven't seen any official write-up, but I think we'll welcome any such changes. All the people I'm even hearing are fantastic people, and I'm sure members will be very ready to work with them. We'll be working with them, really. So that's my take on this.
So if you welcome the changes, why did you go to support the first deputy speaker to do a press conference, at which press conference he said there are no changes, it should be ignored, and the status quo remains?
Well, let me add one key thing. I mean, as a majority group, when leadership is talking, all of us, when you're around, you go and stand in to show support. I mean, let me be very clear about that. And sometimes people misunderstand. People misunderstand. But let me be very clear with you that, we join as and when, a member is making a statement. I haven't, necessarily, made my own personal statement. But I mean, I think one key thing he said was that there's no notice. And I'm sure, like I said, when we do meet with the party and the presidency, eventually, whatever news there is will be made aware, and people express their sentiments, and we'll come to a happy landing, I'm sure. So in the interest of the party.
So as of the time you went to stand behind Joe Wise, you did not know what he was speaking to the press about. You just went there in solidarity because he's your leader.
Oh, I had to join. I mean, Joe Wise is, he's somebody else.
So my point is that you didn't know what the agenda was necessarily.
I have to be very frank with you. Up until then, I didn't know. But like I said,
but now that you've heard the agenda, do you associate yourself with the agenda or you dissociate yourself?
I'm for change at any point in time.
What that means is that you are dissociating yourself from what Joe Wise was saying at that presser.
Let me help you here. The key thing Joe Wise said is that we haven't had any notice. That I cannot dissociate. That is true. That is a fact. Okay. Now the key thing I'm adding is the fact that as we get interaction with the party and presidency, whatever directives will be given, we'll be very, ready to, support. I mean, that is the key thing here.
So for you, you're looking. So essentially, you're looking forward to a change in leadership. You don't mind if a change of leadership happens.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, these things make room for others to also grow. And I couldn't have been in support of a change then and then not be in support of it now. I mean, then that would not be,
you'll not be consistent, which is why we've called you out, because we are surprised to see you standing behind.
I want people to know, with certainty that I believe in change, and I believe that it affords people the opportunity to do more. And it's like soccer. Once you still know people, different ideas, different energy, and we're ready. I think that what is missing, and maybe, unfortunately, is a dialogue with the presidency and the party, which has not happened. And maybe I'm hoping that yes, we'll be final bad. So if that has been missing, I'm sure in the foreseeable days, those will be corrected.
Okay.
And then after further discussion or engagement with the presidency and the party, whatever notice the rest of the world needs to know will be made aware.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, sir.
That's Dr. Dixon Adumako Kisi. He's MP for Anyaso Utom here in the Greater Accra region. Let's go to the Ashanti region. The MP for Subin is the Honorable Eugene Boachi Entry. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Omaro.
Good evening. Were you at Joe Wise's press conference this afternoon?
Yes, I was present.
You knew what he was going to talk about?
I was present at a press conference.
Great. Do you agree with him or disagree with him?
If I didn't agree with him, why would I be standing in the press conference? It's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing with them. It's a matter of law. And Joe Wise is a seasoned lawyer, president speaker, seasoned member of the party, as well as seasoned MP. So we elected him to speak on our behalf to the matters, to the raging matters and govern the party.
When you say we elected him, who and who are the we? The whole majority caucus or a number of MPs?
Umaru, please, you call me for an interview. Let's deal with the matters and stop these.
That's the matter we are dealing with. So I want to know who Joe Wise represented.
You saw all of us in the clip. Some of our friends could not make it there. But the ones you saw, we elected him to speak.
But you see, the reason I'm asking you is because I just got off the line with your colleague MP for Anyaso Utom. He said he was walking past. He saw that his leader was addressing the president, as happens usually in parliament, both in the world and in the foyer. He decides to come and support his leader, only to realize later what the leader was talking about.
Yeah, well, that's the Anyaso Utom. I'm the member of parliament for Subin, so I was there. So you can speak to me about what happened.
Good. So that's why I asked that question. I needed to know, numbers are very important. So if it's an issue of an agenda, numbers are very, very important. So about how many people was Joe Wise speaking for today?
When you say an issue of an agenda, numbers are important. This has nothing to do with numbers. This is to do with the law. When one person out of the 138 says no to something, it doesn't matter whatever the 137 say. Whatever the 137 say might not be, in consonance with the law or in conformity with the law.
Okay, so please talk to me about the law and the procedure that you use in the House.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
What is the issue at stake? The issue at stake was that a meeting took place yesterday. I've been out of the country since the 6th of February, attending a UN session in New York, and then I had to spend a couple of days in London to attend to personal matters, right? All along, I heard these raging matters about proposed change in leadership, which was, which I've been told today, it was part of the agenda I could not attend, though, as a member of as a chairman of the Employment Committee, I'm a member of the stake and member of NEC and the National Council, but I couldn't attend. But when I got back home last night, I spoke to colleagues who were present, and they told me that particular item 5 on the agenda, was jettisoned. It was dropped and nothing was said about it. Subsequent to that, the General Secretary issued a communique after the meeting talking about the structure of the campaign team and what have you. That is what came out. Now, what the concern was, you are a journalist, so you saw flyers floating about yesterday in connection with change of leadership or some changes in the leadership of the party. Let me first of all, for the benefit of this interview and for the education of the members or Ghanaians who may not have vetted themselves with the Constitution, prior to the operationalization of this standing orders, from January, right? The MPP Constitution, Article 14 of the Constitution, I don't know whether you have time for me to read to your listeners or...
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Article 14, the title is the Parliamentary Group. 14.1 says the party's members of parliament shall form the parliamentary group, which shall have rules and regulations, not inconsistent with this constitution to govern its activities. 14.2, the election of the leader, the deputy leader, the chief whip, and the deputy chief whip of the parliamentary group shall be done by the National Council. 3, the National Executive Committee shall, in consultation with the parliamentary group, appoint the party's parliamentary spokesperson, who shall be the chairperson of the party's sector committees when the party is not in government. 4, the National Council and the National Executive Committee shall, respectively, review each year the performance of the parliamentary leadership and spokespersons with a view to making appropriate changes where necessary. The last one, 14.5, says the parliamentary leader, together with one other rep of the parliamentary group, shall be members of the National Executive Committee, and one rep of the parliamentary group shall be a member of the National Steering Committee. The parliamentary leader shall be a member of the National Steering Committee of the National Executive Committee, and the parliamentary spokespersons shall be members of their respective sector committees. That is the MPP Constitution. It must be made clear. The MPP Constitution is not binding on the Parliament of Ghana. Do you understand? Okay. When you go to we use 2 books in Parliament. The difference is in the weight and the size. One is the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, and 2 is the standing orders, which regulate the activities of the House. You understand? When you go to Article 110 of the National Constitution, I'll read for the benefit of your listeners and viewers. Article 110.1 says, subject to the provisions, the word subject to the provision of this Constitution, Parliament may, by standing orders, regulate its own procedure. Right? So Parliament then, because we use Parliament, we use the standing orders to regulate our activities in the House or procedures. The new standing order, and I'll also go to the new standing order and also tell you what it says. It says majority caucus means the members of the party, all parties that have the largest number of seats in the House. The next point is majority leader means a member of parliament designated, that's the operative word, designated by the majority caucus as the leader in the House. These are the 2 definitions you need on the standing order. So who forms the majority caucus? It's 137 plus 1, 137 MPs, right? They form the majority caucus, right? Plus the 1 independent candidate, right? So we designate who becomes the leader of the party, not the MPP national headquarters or the MPP NEC or National Council. So that's true. They were the ones doing it. But the new standing orders have taken that power away from them. Right? Okay. They give it to the members of the House. And I think rightly so, because we are colleagues, we know each other better than the people sitting at party HQ or elsewhere in determining their behavior, their conduct, and what have you. You see, as leaders. So that is why in the framers of the standing orders, they thought it wise that what happened to our colleagues last year when Honorable Haruna Idris, Honorable Muntaka, Honorable Kwame Abeji, Honorable Abeji, and Honorable Newsroom were dropped last year. They were dropped from the front bench. Now you cannot do so. Now the members must initiate or engineer such a move. That is what he's saying. So what your wife did was firstly because there was a whole lot of publications, flying about saying that the things in leadership and all of it. It doesn't do well for cohesion and stability of the nation in parliament.
Okay. I think
especially look at the numbers now. So what Honorable Joe Wise did today, by speaking to the law or speaking to the enactment of parliament, you don't have to. He's not challenging any authority. He's just speaking to the law as it is, and the law says that we, the members of parliament, and do so. If a member of parliament is elected to go and legislate and pass laws, why do you then say, "Oh, we should allow the journalists in this country to go and pass laws"? Is that your role? That's not your role. So the party is contest. That's not the role of the party is contest.
Okay.
To determine for us who forms the leadership, it should be the MPs doing it. And that is what there was with Umaru.
All right. So you have clearly delineated the issues and you've relied on the documents that matter. So the MPP Constitution, the National Constitution, and the Standing Orders. Based on the 1992 Constitution and the Standing Orders, is you, majority group, who should decide who leads you. That's correct. And properly explained, like you've just said, based on the revised Standing Orders. However, based on your Constitution, it has to be the party that decides who leads it, two separate issues, correct? Now, if the party sponsored you to parliament, and when I say you, I mean all 137 you lot of MPP side, at what point do you disregard your Constitution and regard your Standing Orders? And at what point do you...
As a journalist, you've done extremely well by putting this question out, because that is what is creating a whole lot of confusion in the system, right? The party in parliament is not independent of the mother party. I'm an MP speaking to you today because I'm a member of the New Patriotic Party before becoming a member of parliament. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of the Republic of Ghana, is a member of the New Patriotic Party before becoming president. The vehicle that made me a president is the New Patriotic Party. The vehicle that made me a member of parliament is the New Patriotic Party. So we cannot isolate ourselves from the party. No. We are not independent of the mother party. However, the nature of what we do, and the parent law of this country is the National Constitution. So anything that is inconsistent with the National Constitution is null and void. So where there's a conflict between any part of the party constitution, listen to me carefully, Umaru. Where there's a conflict between any part of our constitution, the NPP constitution, and the national constitution, or an act of parliament, or the standing orders of parliament, or the constitutional or legislative instrument, that part of the constitution, to the extent of the conflict, is null and void.
I've noticed you've added standing orders to your reading of the clause. When we talk about inconsistencies with the law, the 1992 Constitution, we do know that whichever law is in conflict with the 1992 Constitution, to the extent of that conflict, is null and void. Are you suggesting, and I'm not sure whether the standing orders of Parliament has the same weight as the Constitution, so that you can read it in the manner you just read it, where you said that because your party constitution conflicts with the standing orders, it is equated to being null and void?
Yes,
would that work?
When it comes to, listen, I've quoted the relevant, look, we have a national constitution. Any act of parliament must derive its power or strength from the national constitution. So if you look at the standard orders, every order will tell you that this order is this order is that. You understand? Yes. So it tells you, like, when it comes to the election of the voting of the speaker, where your wife have voted or not, blah, blah, blah. Refer to the national constitution. And then want to go back to Supreme Court for interpretation. So And the MPP constitution only affects MPP members. It has no role in parliament. You understand? The moment you become more of parliament, you are bound by the standing orders of the parliament. Because that is where our procedures and activities are governed. You understand? So people should be talking about MPP constitution here. We are talking about a constitutional matter. We are talking about an enactment of parliament that binds every Ghanaian. The MPP constitution only binds NDP members. It doesn't bind NDC, it doesn't bind CPP, it doesn't bind PNC. It binds only MPP members. It's that extent. When people are trying to compare the MPP constitution with an enactment of parliament or with the other constitution, then they are just being ignorant. Do you understand? Yes, well, the law doesn't work like that. The law is that says that everything must be consistent with the provisions of the constitution. If it's not if it's inconsistent, it's null and void.
I see. So what you were doing today was simply to try and ensure that the law is respected. Now let's go outside what happened in Parliament. The advert or the advertorial you saw, the announcement that there's a change in your leadership. We are told that there's a plan to meet with the president. I do not know at whose behest, but there's supposed to be a meeting with the president to discuss changes in leadership. Based on what you are saying, one second, let me land. Based on what you are saying to me tonight, you're suggesting that meeting would be absolutely unnecessary because the president has no power over you in Parliament.
We don't know why the president intends to. I don't know what you are talking about. So I've not heard any invitation for Jubilee House. But I don't know why the president. But if the president intends to meet us on this matter, then the president will be acting ultra virus. Do you understand? Because the law is clear, and the president himself is a constitutional lawyer. So if the president wants to interfere with it, because you see, it's like saying the president interfere with the judiciary. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I get your point, but do you not risk being at war with asylum down? This is your approach?
Bear with me. Can the president call the chief of staff, like the chief justice, and say, I want you to make this judge an appeal court judge? Can the president do that?
Because the chief justice is not.
A simple question.
Yes, he cannot because the chief justice is not an MPP member. However, all of you are MPP members, and he's a leader.
No. Bear with me. We are MPP members. Fair enough. We are talking about our conduct in the House, which is regulated by the standing order. Do you understand? Our conduct is not regulated by the MPP constitution. No. Once you become a member of parliament, it's like when you become a president, who became a president, and the state security, it took over. It's protection and everything.
Yeah.
Is he being protected by MPP members?
No. So he's above now. But my point is that, and I know I will not say forget the law, but put the law aside. Are you not risking a conflict with your mother party, which sponsored you to parliament, if you proceed on this line?
What we are trying to say, Umaru, is that we should be on the side of breaking the law. Nobody's ready to break the law. We are legislators. We make laws. Our job is to ensure that those of us who are making the laws must first respect the laws for others to follow. And these are laws were not made by me, or made by just MPP members or NDC members. These laws were passed by the Parliament of Ghana. And that the Supreme Court is an institution. So I'm saying the Parliament is Parliament, legislature, that's the legislature, and the judiciary are all arms of government. Everything goes arms of government. But what you are trying to tell me now is that if the president is inviting us, is he going to talk about it? I don't know. We are not made the president.
But if he raises it, you would oppose it.
Sorry?
If he raises it, you would oppose it and read the law to him.
It's putting the cart before the horse, or the horse before the cart, whatever way. The president, you are saying he's inviting us, I don't know. But the rules are clear. The rules are clear. So who in their right now will try to circumvent the rules? The rules are very clear that members must do it. And you have 137 plus 1 members in the House. It's their job to do so. The president, yes, as president of the country, as president, as a member of the New Patriotic Party, can recommend names, or can recommend his proposal. But it's up to the parliamentary group to accept or reject.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us on this matter.
Have a wonderful evening, Umaro.
You too have a wonderful evening. That's Eugene Boachentry. He's member of parliament for Subin. Speaking on the issue of the plan or the earlier plan we heard about to change the leadership of the majority side in parliament. So the information was that Honorable Osechi Mensah Bonsu was going to be reassigned. He's currently the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, MP for Swami, but he's also the majority leader. The information we picked up was he's going to move to the executive completely and leave Parliament as a leader. And we're told his deputy MP for Futu, Alexander Penyomakin, was going to be the new majority leader, to be deputized by the Sawa Medwejiri Member of Parliament, Frank Arnold Dompre, where Habib Idrisu of Tolom then becomes the majority whip, and then we would have a new appointed deputy whip to replace the Honorable Lydia Al-Hassan, who has been promoted or made a minister for water resources and sanitation. Now, we're told that was supposed to be an agenda for last night's meeting of the MPP leadership, but the agenda was not dealt with. However, several publications are around suggesting what I have just said to you. And today, Joseph Osewosu, MP for Bekwai, Deputy Speaker of the House, a member of the MPP, called the press and said what had happened was not right and the status quo remains. And so I was just speaking there to Eugene Boachentry, who is just explaining the law and the basis for this particular position. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Now, if there is internal issues bothering the MPP, why should the NDC be bothered at all? Considering that they just came out of a similar turmoil, having done changes from the Adabraka head office of the party, which a lot of NDC MPs opposed, but eventually had to be whipped in line. One such MP, NDC MP for Tamale North, is Alhassan Suhini. He has gone to social media to write, and he says Ashanti Cabal resists Alex Apenyo-Markin's leadership. He's joined me on the line. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Sandra, thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm well. I have a friend who says, why should the lizard be worried about what the crocodile eats? Waiting concern you.
Well, the point is that the NPP, like any other political party, is a public entity. And by the virtue of their potential, and in this case, we are living it, to form a government, we must all be concerned at every point in time, whether they are in government or in opposition, when they are taking decisions. And clearly, I am quite excited about what is happening with the NPP, because for me, it draws attention to one principle. And the principle being that it is important that as political parties, we begin to pay attention to how best to choose our leaders in parliament. I do not think that the current structure as it exists, is satisfactory. I mean, many have abused it in the past and some will still abuse it now. But it is clear from the opposition that the NDC mounted when the leadership change happened, and the opposition that is being mounted by members of the MPP caucus this time around. It should be clear to anybody that there's a need for the party constitution to converge with the parliament standing orders so that we will not have these confusion. But like I said, that principle is clear in what these members are doing. But what may be different in most cases when we are talking about principles will be motives. I mean, principles don't change, but people can use the principles to achieve various motives. And in the case of Apenyo-Markin, what I simply see is that the Ashanti cabal in their caucus don't seem very comfortable with him being made a leader. And that for me is surprising because, I mean, if you look at their front bench and their caucus for that matter, over the years, it is clear that Apenyo-Markin has, paid his dues to the NPP and to the caucus in parliament. And so it comes to me as a surprise that a region that has been so endowed with very juicy appointments will be concerned that one of them is being replaced by someone from the central region, yes, with some ties from the Volta region. That is the motive I see behind this challenge that they are mounting. I do not see it so much of being the principle that members must have a say in choosing who leads them when it comes to the choice of leadership in Parliament. But like I said, even if that principle is used as a ruse, for me, it draws attention to the need for the political parties to pay attention to that principle, because then it shows that it is a principle that is timeless and something that we must do something about. But like I said, principles are principles, but motives can drive the same principle differently.
How do you reckon, because you have a history as a party in this, how do you reckon the NPP can reconcile this division, which has become public now?
So in the case of the NPP, which I believe is driven by a very, forgive me, ethnic motive, it's going to be very difficult for them to deal with. Because if you know, there have been those undertones for some time now within the New Patriotic Party about how the Ashanti region feels, sidelined in the Nana Akufo-Addo government in terms of the opportunities that are extended to them and even development in their area. So it is going to be really difficult for them to deal with it. I think that I can only say that for both parties to deal with this situation once and for all, we'll need to align our various constitutions to the standing orders of the House and adopt a position that is workable for members and for the political parties as well.
But yours could have been described as ethnic too, that you had a northern minority leader being replaced with a central region person to be the minority leader. But you guys managed to, pick up the pieces and move on. Or is it the case that they're still grumbling at the minority front in relation to the changes, the sudden changes that were announced from Adabraka?
Not at all. I mean, and if you followed the discussion and you looked at the personalities that were involved in ours, it was not ethnic. It was not about where, which region got more and which region didn't get much and all of that. Because, you had one person from the north, you had one person from Ashanti region, and then you had another from Volta region. And these are all, if you like, the two northern region and Volta region are strongholds of the NDC. So there's really nothing to talk about when it comes to be one being sidelined or the other. And these people were again replaced by people. The Volta region had a representative in there, and you also had the central region coming on board and all that. So it was, and the opposition was, look at the video. Look at the video of the members of parliament who stood to address the media. And you can see clearly that there is some sort of ethnic agenda today.
So this is just a view, though, not born out of any specific fact. That they said that they are relying on the constitution, not on ethnicity. Just to set the records.
Well, but
on
then
this matter.
Optics matter. Then that's what I'm saying. That when you look at the people who spoke to the media, you cannot discount that. Desire by some people in the party, especially the Ashanti region, to want everything to go to them. I've heard some of them complain. Some other minor tribes in the majority caucus, for example, complain about the number of big appointments that have gone to the Ashanti region, and yet they still are unsatisfied. I think that it is going to be unfair to Afenyo Markin if they do not. If they oppose him on those bases. I think he's paid his dues to the caucus.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Honorable Alassane Suhuyini. He's Tamale North NDC MP. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll return with more. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how's your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman.
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Do you care enough about your business? Then it's time to make a transition to renewable energy and energy efficiency solutions. Visit the AGI Energy Service Center and talk to us. AGI ESC cares about business growth. That is why we're here to assist industries cut production costs through energy savings. We provide you with solar feasibility studies, energy audits, energy efficiency trainings, and financial advisory services. Visit agiesc.com for more information or call us on 0507 977 902, an initiative of the Association of Ghana Industries in partnership with the German Development Corporation, implemented by GIZ.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Now, the opposition National Democratic Congress has emphasized the importance of upholding the electoral laws as it welcomes the decision by the Electoral Commission to maintain the 2024 general election date. The EC had initially suggested moving the December 7 polls to a date in November. However, following widespread backlash and concerns raised by various stakeholders, the Electoral Commission has now reversed its decision and abandoned the proposed date change for this year. The NDC is advocating that changes to the election calendar are made in accordance with legal procedures.
That has been our position. We were very clear in our mind on these two issues. In fact, and we didn't miss words in telling them in their face at the two IPAC meetings we since attended with them. And it was very clear. We didn't miss words at all. We told them we're not going to support or cooperate with them in terms of moving the election day from December to November, because their posturing did not give us credence that they are ready for that kind of change. And there was no reason whatsoever to think of moving it in this election year. If they knew that they wanted to do that, they should have started the consultation way back after 2016 when it failed in Parliament, and they came in 2017. They should have started it, preparing the ground. We made them all these things. We give them superior argument as to reasons why it cannot be moved this year.
That was Deputy Director of Elections for the National Democratic Congress, Rashid Tanko Computer. Meanwhile, the Convention People's Party, CPP, has expressed satisfaction with the decision by the EC to also backtrack on the abandonment of the use of indelible ink in the upcoming polls.
The use of the indelible ink, it gives us that kind of nostalgic feeling that I voted. And it's also not. And what about the rural areas? Some machines can break down and you cannot even fix it. Technology, as we say, we will not test it anyway. So why do you want to jump when you don't have the indelible ink to serve as an issue? So I think you can use it too. You can still use the indelible ink and then still go by the normal way you want to experiment. And anything at all, there must be some period of trying to test the whole thing. So why just going the way they want to go? But well, it was not even agreed. I think it's once again, I always say, the Electoral Commission, you see, because the IPAC is not having any constitutional backing, it's just like a dialogue. So the Electoral Commission, they say whatever they want to do, they plan their thing, and they come and inform us or just put it on us. You cannot say no. It is for the prerogative to inform us, and when they inform us, they go ahead and do it. So it is about time this IPAC has some constitutional backing. If really we are partners and stakeholders, then we should also be, some of our business should be taken on board and taken seriously.
Yakubu Habib speaking there. He's Director of Elections for the Convention People's Party, CPP. Let's still stay on matters related to elections because supporters of parliamentary aspirant Hajia Abibata Sani in the Yendi constituency in the Northern Region are demanding that the National Executives Committee of the New Patriotic Party decide the rerun of parliamentary primaries within 7 days. They have warned the party against imposing a candidate on the constituency, warning that they will reject any such move. The leader of the group, Alhaji Mohammed Pensi, made these statements during a press conference in Yendi.
We are calling on NEC to, as a matter of urgency, organize a rerun of the Yendi parliamentary primaries elections within 7 days. Any short of a rerun will have dire consequences for the parliamentary fortunes of the party in the Yendi constituency. We want to send this one a very strong message to the national chairman of the party and the leadership of NEC. Should they make any mistake to impose a candidate for Yendi constituency, the party will regret it. We are not threatening the party, nor threatening anybody in this party, but we want them to do the needful. Then after the 7 days, should NEC fail to listen to what we are saying and we take a decision, they cannot reverse it again.
Well, they have also vowed to field an independent candidate if NEC fails to heed their demand within the stipulated 7 days.
If the 3-member committee fail to adhere to what we have said, we will fly an independent candidate. We have every evidence that the candidate that they are looking cannot rescue the seat again. The seat cannot be allowed to go into the hands of NDC. And knowing very well that sending these candidates to the election 2024, the MPP will lose the seat, and that is what we don't want to go. Yes. So we believe that when we fly an independent candidate, we will take the seat and go to Parliament and do business with MPP.
Leader of a group of MPP supporters in Yendi in the northern region, Alhaji Mohammed Pensi. Now to the Shanti region, police have granted bail to the Mensha South constituency organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Al-Hassan Mustafa, following charges of offensive conduct conducive to a breach of peace and threats of death. Mustafa was seen in a viral video challenging the New Patriotic Party and issuing threats of violence should he attempt to manipulate the elections in 2024. Or he further suggested the possibility of engaging in violent confrontations, even if it entails resorting to fatal measures to safeguard the victory of the NDC's flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama. Here's a legal representative for the NDC Mensha South constituency organizer, Chapman Ziga.
As you all know, the accused person was arrested and was brought to the police. So today with the regional organizers, executives, we all came here to help the accused person in the offenses that he has been charged with. And by the grace of God, we have been able to secure a bail for him. So we are using this medium to encourage and also send a message to all NDC sympathizers that our chairman and the executives have done their possible best, and today, by the grace of God, we've been able to secure a bail for him. He was charged with the offense of offensive conduct and also threat of life. Yes, these were the charges that he was charged. He has been granted bail today, and we are reporting to the police station next week, Monday.
That was counsel to the NDC Mensha South constituency organizer Chapman Ziga. Or meanwhile, the Ashanti regional chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Augustus Nanakwesi, maintains that the constituency organizer's statement was not appropriate.
I'm looking at a statement of my organizer. It was a conversation between two gentlemen, one MPP, one NDC organizer. And the MPP person was saying that they are not ready to hand over power if NDC wins 2024. And that was his comment. And my organizer said, no, they can't say that. One, we are not happy about the statement that he said, but we are not going to sit down for somebody to intimidate us this elections 2024. That one, I'm saying it. Nobody can intimidate us. And no matter what, NDC is going to be vigilant, and we are going to win the 2024 elections, do or die.
Ashanti Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Augustus Nanakwesi.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Messages that have come through. Nene Gaddafi in Yilo Krobo says whether there's a shake-up or not, The good people of Ghana know that there's leadership crisis in the NPP. Ghanaians give them a mandate to transform this country, but it seems they have lost everything totally. The future is pregnant. Dennis at Sandema says, are we safe in this country at all? Look, not knowing that some people were wolves wearing sheep clothes in the churches. God let us know them all. More messages coming through. Amisku Spelele from Kaswa Republic says, I fully support the majority caucus's press conference. In fact, the majority leadership must not be changed. Jones at Boy Inla says, I will advise the vice president and his campaign team to reschedule their campaign programs and any intended changes in their majority leadership in parliament till 2039 because Ghanaians are wide awake and will not fall to their deceit again. Ndenab Isaku Avoka says, changing of majority is nothing. We are waiting for them. Daniel Akpaliok in Sandema says, things fall apart, the center cannot hold. The NPP has demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that they have indeed lost control in almost every part, including their own party. Adam sends a message from Tema, and he says, this is a peeved leader these are peeved leaders who are not coming back to parliament, and this same group went name calling the last time the NDC did a change in leadership. So the honorable member is saying he was there not because he agrees with what the leader was saying. Oh my God, this is a betrayal. You see, Zilis Dwayne in London says, Joe Wise should relax and take his time because he's not bigger than the NPP party. Brilliant Fahad, Ibn Okujeto from Central Town says, there can be a shake-up starting from President Akufo-Addo till the last polling station executive of the NPP. Ghanaians will definitely vote out the clueless NPP government led by Bawumia and Nana Akufo-Addo. Alex Kofi Areni in Adenta Commandos says things are falling apart in the majority caucus in parliament due to the outdooring of Dr. Bawumia's campaign members, which is causing troubles in the NPP. Finally, Aziz Donla in WA says changes made by the majority caucus or not wouldn't make any difference. In fact, the campaign team outlined by the NPP won't change anything because this government has plunged us into uncertainties. And finally, Prince Henry in Koforidua says, when your cup is full, nothing will save you. The happenings in the NPP are clear signs that opposition is waiting for them. More confusion to rock the NPP in the coming days, both in the parliament and in the party. This is Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Recoded to do more with ease. The enhanced GCB mobile app. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store for all your transactions. Smooth, safe, and secure. Charlie, tap the app. You don't need to have an account to upgrade. GCB mobile app. Recoded to do more. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank. Your bank for life.
You know, your Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Tell you guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry, Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
It's time for Citi Business News and Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akosia Otre. Let's settle for the details. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu, has assured of an upward adjustment in the farm gate price of cocoa beans for the new cocoa season. According to him, the Producer Price Review Committee will decide on the percentage which will be announced in the next cocoa season. Last year, President Akufo-Addo announced a more than 60% hike in cocoa prices for this year's season, translating to 1,308 Ghana cedis per cocoa bag. Joseph Boahin Edu disclosed this when he appeared before the Public Accounts Committee in Accra.
The solution, as I said before the committee, is that, when the new price is announced, because the new price is going to reflect on.
So we should expect another upward adjustment for the family. I really wish.
Definitely, because it's obvious. This one, I don't even have to say it.
By what margin?
Well, I can't tell the margin. I can't tell the margin. But the point is it's something which is obvious. Okay. It's very obvious because we were around 2006 average. So if now, and of course, at that time we were selling 2008, 2000, and now the price continues moving up. Now it's over 5,000. So when we strike the average,
how soon is that going to reflect?
How soon? I think immediately the new season, but there is a producer price review committee that will decide. Okay. Yes, we have to work towards that. The most important thing is that I'm pleading with our farmers. I'm pleading with them that all the education, all the sensitization being, given to them by our extension officers, they must follow them.
That was the voice of Chief Executive of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has pledged to tackle the pervasive issue of corruption in Ghana's ports by embarking on visits to various port facilities nationwide. The steps comes in response to mounting reports of corrupt practices among port officials. Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, acknowledging the gravity of the situation, has personally validated some of these reports and is determined to implement measures to combat corruption effectively.
I have received a lot of reports within just 3 days since I was appointed by His Excellency as Finance Minister. So many reports about underhand dealings, corruption, exercise of discretion against the interests of the state. We can nip this in the bud and ensure that the revenue that we need for our country, we are able to collect. Commissioner General, as you may be aware, the perception of corruption is very deep, but also complaints about the unfriendly nature of our tax collection system. So I personally want to support you in the field, and therefore, over the next 1 week, I will join you to visit some of the ports, the Tema Port, the Kutuka International Airport, and I will go with you as well to the border areas, Elobo, Aflao, so that I can understand at first hand what your staff, your officers are going through and what support they need for us to provide to them so that they can be more efficient, they can be more dedicated.
That was Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam. Now the public is being urged to utilize the services of professional surveyors in undertaking valuation of properties and property management to reduce inflation of cost for projects. This, according to the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, will help bring some economic relief to government, contractors, and the general public. President of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, Dawood Suleimana Mahama, has been speaking on the sidelines of the launch of the 19th edition of the Surveyors Week and the 55th Annual General Meeting in Accra.
In terms of valuation and in property management, for example, if, for example, the proper values are not done, somebody goes to overvalue or undervalue a property and goes to the bank to go and take money for a project, you will come and find out that at the time, if he defaults in the payment, by the time you are going to take your money, the bank is going to take its money back. It will find that virtually there's nothing for it to take. And in terms of construction, it is the same thing. You've priced a road project which has been designed by the engineers to last, say, 15, 20 years. There you go and take somebody who is not a qualified expert to supervise that work. You will see that you will finish the work, and instead of it lasting the 15 to 20 years, you'll find that within 2 years it's gone. The money that government has spent on that road will have gone waste. So it will mean that the same service that has been provided, we will have to go and repeat it. Our work is so important, it's so fundamental. We save a lot of cost to the state, to ourselves, and to the society.
Dawood Suleiman Mahama is president of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors. Now, the European Union, a delegation to Ghana, is confident that its initiative to unearth the talents of young creatives across West Africa and other member states will position them as viable products for the arts market. Well, this follows the climax of the EU West Africa Fusion Arts Residency Expo, where out of 109 applications submitted, 12 were shortlisted as the finalists. The winning team, which comprised of 3 creatives, walked away with a total check of 36,000 Ghana cedis. In an interview with Citi Business News, the ambassador of the EU delegation to Ghana, His Excellency Richard Rizali, expressed optimism that the works of the winners will give them leverage in the arts market.
These artists are now equipped to carry on their arts in what we call creative arts, meaning that what they are producing is fit as well for the market as creators. So this is what we are trying to create for them, this space for them to make their activity sustainable, financially viable. And this is what we hope for them. This is the reason why as well we have handed over quite a generous prize, 36,000 Ghana cedi for the winning team, because this will give them as well the momentum to continue to create and be able to share with us their creation and hopefully be bankable on the market.
His Excellency Richard Rizali is the ambassador of the EU delegation to Ghana. Finally, the Ghana Statistical Service says it is set to wrap up its nationwide data collection exercise on the ongoing Integrated Business Establishment Survey, IBES. The service has slated the end of March to complete the collection for all regions. The survey is aimed at enumerating all businesses across all aspects of the economy, after which an updated statistical business register will be produced to inform policy decisions. Anthony Cracker is the National IBES coordinator.
So hopefully by the end of this month, we should be out of field, especially for other regions. But Greater Accra and Ashanti will continue forward till March ending, where we'll finish data collection. And we would have rounded up and make sure that every business is covered. Indeed, our focus to ensure that we do not leave any business behind. And so we are going to make sure that we use all means to ensure that we enumerate every business, every underline, every business. Indeed, the business include or even the market those selling in Mokola, for instance, that is where I come from. So we go to the market Mokola, those selling on the tabletops, under the umbrellas, who's selling fish, who's selling granules, everybody, every business and the line. And that makes a difference between these sensors and the last one we did.
That was National Coordinator of the Integrated Business Establishment Survey, Anthony Cracker. And in Citi Business News and Eyewitness News, it was brought to you by GCB Bank PLC, GCB Personal Loan. Make the big move and dream a reality. I'm Makosi Autry. Up next is Point Blank.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Cry. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
City TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV. City TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. City TV, it's your world.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244-308-111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
They did send us a letter to say that they are unable to do that, and because they have used the rooms for storage, all the rooms for storage. So after that, we've still been in touch with them, trying to get them to still, come to an agreement so that we use up some of the spaces that are empty. But we are yet to make any progress on that. Their rooms are still locked up, and we are still cramped in the rest of them.
Listening there to the voice of Kathleen Addy. She's the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE. She was before the Appointments Committee of Parliament today and made those revelations. My name is Umaru Sandamado. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. So tonight on Point Blank, we'll delve more into that issue. What happened to the old head office of the Electoral Commission? On the line by the chairperson of the NCCE, Kathleen Addy. Madam, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Mario. And one small correction, that was not the Appointments Committee, that was the Public Accounts Committee.
Forgive me, Public Accounts Committee. Appointments Committee, that means that they've named you as the minister. Maybe it's a prophecy. It's a prophecy. So I will not apologize. This one, I will not apologize for this mistake. But anyway, apologies still for the wrong designation. First of all, I know that the Accounts Committee would work on what the Auditor General has said about an entity, and then you would come through and then respond to questions. So that was the main reason you went there, not to talk about your accommodation. So let's talk about first the things that the Auditor General may have said, for which reason you were invited to come and respond.
Sure. We were invited for two minor infractions. One had to do with somebody who had been overpaid a salary, but we had retrieved that money before last year. In fact, that money was retrieved last year. And the second one had to do, and that was about 30,000 cedis. And the second one had to do with, forget now, but something similar. But that also had been retrieved. And the audit service confirmed that we had retrieved all the money concerned. And so there was no issue in terms of the actual infractions that took us to task today. So
the auditors came and noticed this. Did they alert you at the time they were compiling their reports about what they observed and made you respond?
Yes, we did all of that. In fact, we rectified all of this. We rectified one in 2022 and one in 2023, long before this setting of tax.
But why do you have double salary issues on two occasions?
Oh, it wasn't double salary. It was
overpayment.
No. He had gone on steady leave and had to come back and serve his bond, right? And then before he finished serving his bond, he left the commission to go and work somewhere else. So he owed us the amount of the bond, and that is what he paid back.
Okay, so this person was made to pay back, and so that's the clarity you went to give.
Yes.
Then how come you also ended up talking about accommodation? Accommodation for officers at work.
Because the MP for Tamale Central,
Murtala Mohammed,
the MP for Tamale Central, had a public interest question about our accommodation because the issue had come up in parliamentary circles that we needed a space, and EC had refused to open up some of the offices for us to use, including some of the joint spaces that we shared on the premises, with the saying that they needed to store their things there. But, they've just got a brand new building. So, this has been going back and forth. So it was in parliamentary circles. The issue was in parliamentary circles. So he decided to bring it up as he asked permission from the chairman to bring this up as a public interest question and ask whether that issue had been resolved. So that's how come it came into the past hearing.
I see. For those who do not know, the NCCE and the Electoral Commission were sharing the same building. I'm not sure to call it the same building, but the same premises. And I must say that it's a very ugly, dilapidated-looking building. Apologies to you for that. So the idea is that now the Electoral Commission has its own head office, and the EC has moved from the premises that you were sharing together. What were some of the facilities you were sharing? Were you sharing conference halls, or what kind of things were you sharing?
We were sharing two conference rooms, a bigger one and a smaller one. And the bigger one, they locked up the conference room. They said they were storing their things there, and they locked it up. So, and they were still sharing the smaller one up there with us, even though they have moved to their head office. The rest were just offices, if you come to our office, you see that the staff are cramped into really small spaces. And so we had agreed that logically, once they move out, they will free up some of the other offices for us to use. But that didn't quite work out. And that's what the honorable member brought up today.
I know you also share a car park and several other ancillary services.
Yes.
So it means they still come to use the conference room at your place?
Well, they haven't moved out completely, as I was saying, because they bring things. Actually, though, I can't speak for the EC, but from what I see, they bring things to store and then they come and take some of the things out. And so they haven't moved from the premises 100%. And nobody's saying that anybody should move from anywhere. These properties are state properties, you understand? So it doesn't actually belong to one person or the other, or one institution or the other. The only thing was that we thought that the right thing to do once they were moving from the premises was to free up some of the spaces for my staff to also sit comfortably to work. So that's the thing. But for the rest of the premises, and in any case, EC has a greater part of the premises. They have one whole complex occupied mostly by just the EC. And then there's this one building where it's sort of NCC occupies some of the, I keep trying to say classrooms, some of the offices.
Well, your offices actually look like classrooms, so you are forgiven.
Yes, they do, don't they? No, they do. Some are more cramped than the most cramped classrooms that you find anywhere. So yes, once they were moving out, it was the assumption that, or it was the agreement actually, not even the assumption, that some of the offices will be open, given to us to use. And we are public institutions. We work for the people of Ghana. We are state institutions. So one state institution using an office that has been vacated by another state institution should not really be that much of an issue, in my view. But maybe, I don't know everything. I haven't been in the public sector that long. But the point is that, this has been going back and forth for a long time. And unfortunately, it came out apart completely out of the blue, and great surprise to me because, I didn't know that
people were observing. But who was squatting on whose land, though? Is it premise for NCCE or is for EC? Who is patching?
Oh, no. I mean, the EC likes to say we are patching, which is, I don't know. But I don't know who is patching and who is not. You have to understand that this building was occupied by the National, PNDC. This building was National Commission for Democracy, I think.
Okay, NCD, the one that transmogrified into Electoral Commission, or the one that organized the referendum.
Yes. But that institution became the EC and the NCCE, not just the EC. So once the institutions were set up, the premises were divided for the institutions. That building, the offices were shared for the institutions. A lot has happened over the years that I am not really privy to.
I see.
But what I know is that over time, the NCC became more and more cramped into smaller spaces, and to a point where now it's almost untenable. And so then of course, they couldn't say the EC should move out or anything. But once they were already moving to a new premises, it was our assumption that, it only,
you take off. How long ago since the EC moved out?
Oh, it's been a year already. I honestly don't remember, but they've been gone for quite a while. Yes.
You said that there was an agreement, which means that you put pen to paper that when you leave, we'll take over your offices. Was there anything like that?
It wasn't that kind of agreement. It was a discussion that we had been having over time, two state institutions discussing how best to work in a way that it makes life slightly more comfortable for all our staff.
I see.
So
now,
over time, I had brought the issue up, and we had discussed it, and we had said, okay, maybe these offices, maybe we'll be able to open up these offices. So there was that discussion going on. And then the EC requested that we write officially to make a request for the space, which we did. And then there was a lot of, again, discussions around that. In the long run, after several months, they came back and said their story. They cannot open up any of the offices for our use because they were storing their stuff in the offices.
But is that an excuse, or they actually have stuff stored in those offices?
I have no way of telling because I have not inspected the offices.
Okay. How about the conference room that you were both sharing? What does that mean? Now you can't use that conference room?
First floor, yes, we don't use it because they packed, some things are packed there and the place is locked up. That was the first floor conference room. The second floor conference room which we still use, but the EC comes to use it sometimes for some of their activities as well, away from their new building to this one. But that's okay. But the other one in the middle, the first floor, which is the bigger conference room where you can have bigger meetings and all of that, that one, we have packed some things there and locked up.
Who is your supervising ministry so you can go and complain to them?
NCC is an independent government institution. We don't have a supervisory ministry. We are one of 4 independent institutions created by the Constitution. The others are the EC, the Media Commission, and the Human Rights and Administrative Justice Shrug.
So what can you do now? Who can you cry to now? That's what I'm just trying to see if we can find your father and go and call your father and say your child is crying. Because this doesn't sound and to be honest, as a member of the Civic Education Club, being interested in the National Commission for Civic Education, I do know way back from my days when I was in Damascus, we used to come to the NCC offices. It didn't look nice, and it's still the same thing that is there now. And even NCC in the various districts underfunded, your vehicles are poor, and yet we are in a very major election. You are expected to do a lot of advocacy, a lot of education and campaigns, and yet you are not being given these resources that you need. So who can we cry to? Should we go to Jubilee House and tell them that the NCC needs support? Give them. Where can we solve this from? That's what I'm trying to see. Or would you call Jean Mensah and say, hey, after all, you guys used to work together. You were at CDD, she was at IEA. Would you call her up for some coffee or some dinner and say, baby girl, I need this your space. Open it up for me. Let me use it. How do you reckon we can deal with this?
Mara, did you just say baby girl?
I'm sure that's how you people call each other. So.
Okay, well, I mean, like I said, it wasn't planned today for this issue to come up because it's something that we are still discussing. Can you hear me?
I'm listening to you, yes.
Yes, it was not planned for this issue to come up at the park today, but it came up because the honourable minister, the honourable member like yourself, used to be the head of a civic education club in Lagos, actually. I was just telling him how we just relaunched the University of Ghana Civic Education Club in December. We're in the process of reviving all the civic education clubs, and so that's ongoing. But that was what motivated him. That was his interest because he too, like yourself, understand how the civic education clubs have contributed to the man that he is today. In terms of the issue coming up, like I said, it wasn't planned. So it's not as if we don't talk to the EC. We are still discussing how to resolve this thing. And that is ongoing. I just didn't expect it to come up. It's just that once it's come up and the questions are asked, I have to answer them.
Very well. We wish you all the best, and we pray that Madam Jean Mensah will be listening tonight and tell her officers to go open up that space and then give you some more room so that you can operate and maneuver. Thank you for speaking to us.
This is my hope and prayer as well. Thank you so much, Maru. Very much appreciated.
That's Kathy Adi. She is the head of the National Commission for Civic Education. She's the chairperson, the NCCE. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. Let's talk about the water sector now. The Ghana Water Company has issued a statement saying that there's an interruption in water supply in the Ashanti region, the Greater Kumasi metropolitan area. Ebenezer Padina is the Ashanti Regional Communications Officer of the Ghana Water Limited. I noticed the letterhead is limited. It's no more Water Company Limited. Madam, sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sanda.
Should I ask you why you are now Ghana Water Limited and not Ghana Water Company Limited, or I should ask the people at Accra?
I believe you should ask.
It's above your pay grade. Okay, let's leave it there. What's happening with your water situation? Your treatment plants are suffering, we are told.
Omar Sanda, let me take this opportunity to greet you and then greet your cherished listeners. So just like a recap, we had a little challenge with our production centers due to power supply. So we always, as we do, have to involve ECD in all we do because they are the sole power distributors to us. For some weeks now, we were facing unstable power supply. So though we were working, we weren't working full time. And this brought about some sort of intermittent supply within the metropolis. Then yesterday, their main lines from Konom Boya experienced some challenges with some getting torn. So we quickly had to inform them, which they went on site and they tried their best yesterday, but they couldn't. So this morning too, they were at site trying to resolve the issue. If you look at the operations of Ghana Water Company Limited, now Ghana Water Limited, at every point where there are challenges, we come out to inform customers so that customers will bear with us and stand with us as we go through such times. This is one of the things that happen, but gracefully, as we speak, supply has resumed. At 3 p.m. Today, ECG was able to rectify the challenge and then has given back power, let me see, stable power to Barikese and Atiase Booster, which is a major supplier of potable water to the metropolis. We are only hoping that power stabilizes like this for the days ahead, so we can be able to serve the good people of Greater Kumasi the needed potable water they need.
So problem has been solved?
Yes, please.
Very well. That's good news. All the schools in there that were needing your services would be sorted out then. And you have also been assured, have you been assured by the ECG that this interruption is over?
So ECG is also doing its best to, I think, improve upon their systems. And then I believe what happened yesterday wasn't as a result of maintenance. I think it was as a result of the storm that got the cable torn. But we are hoping and praying with them that such unforeseen circumstances shouldn't happen so that it does not have a severe impact on Ghana Water. We are only praying that all these things goes well so that we can also serve the good people of Greater Kumasi and the Ashanti region with potable water.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Ebenezer Padina. He is the Ashanti Regional Communications Officer of the Ghana Water Limited. This is Eyewitness News, and that's how we end tonight's edition of the show, which came to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu. I did this with Akosia Ochre. Production by Kwabna Wilson and Beverly London. Technical support from Desmond Nyaku. And new media support from Daniel Anyoriga and Edwin Kwakofi. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.